As we were saying, the first demand or the necessity to have a religious mind is beauty. Beauty not in a particular form, the beautiful face, beautiful way of living and so on. What is beauty? Without that, there is no truth. There is no love. Without beauty, there is no sense of morality. Beauty in itself is virtue. Now we're going to inquire together, what is beauty? The speaker may put it into words, but you have to take the responsibility of inquiring for yourself, what is beauty? Is beauty in a painting, in a marvelous old sculptures of the Egyptians, the Greeks, and Maheshamurti of Bombay and so on? What is beauty? What does it mean to you? The dress, the beautiful patterns of a sari, or the beautiful sky in the evening or early in the morning, the beauty of the mountains, the fields and the valleys and the meadows and the streams, the beauty of a bird, of the marvelous old trees. So, does beauty depend on a particular culture or a particular tradition? The weavers of India have a tradition. They produce marvelous cloth designs. Is that what is beauty? Or beauty is something totally different. When one observes the great mountains with their snow cap, the eternal snows, and the glaciers, and the deep valleys, the outlines of a magnificent, majestic mountains against a blue sky, and when you perceive that for the first time, or 100th time, what actually takes place? Are we going together, or am I talking to myself? I don't mind talking to myself. But if you are listening to each other, we must naturally ask this fundamental question. What takes place when you see that river in the morning light, with the sun just coming up and making a golden path along the waters? when you look at it, what takes place? Or are you repeating some mantra or some words or for the moment, you are completely silent. The beauty of that light on that water pushes aside all your problems, all your anxieties, everything else for a few seconds or a few minutes or for an hour, which means the self is not there. The self, the egotistic, self-centered activity, the self-interest, all that is banished by the great beauty of a cloud full of light and dignity. At that moment, the self is absent. So is not beauty. Does not beauty exist when the self is not? Would you don't agree with it, or nod your head, say it's quite right. How marvelous. And then go on with your ugly ways. Go on with our selfishness, self-concern, and then talk logistically or theoretically about beauty. Beauty is something that must be perceived and not held to get in the mind as a remembrance. So beauty is something far deeper, much more profound and extensive than a mere picture, a design, a beautiful face, or graceful manners. There is beauty only when the self is not. And that is the first thing that is required in understanding what is a religious mind.